Well, I've been a wild rover for many a year, and I spent all my money on whiskies and beer.
Today we're going to be looking at another soft sap from Gryene leather, this one being the Gryene here. This is a larger soft sap being filled with steel shot as opposed to the steel plates that you sometimes find. This is full of shot, very similar to the shot in a shotgun. I believe this is a smaller sized shot. This one, normally, this is the Gryene. It normally comes with a strap attached to this, riveted directly to the sap. I had this one custom made for me by Steven there with the trigger release clasp and the D-ring, just because I wanted the option to be carrying that on my belt, or even put it on my bike if I wanted to put that on or to take it with me on a ride. So this is the Gryene. You're going to notice after I take off this trigger clasp, this is a lot thicker than the average soft sap that I've shown off. It still has the flexibility, which I find important because it does need, as a sap, to have the give on the impact, and that's very important. But again, this is a lot heavier than the average sap that he makes, for at least that I'm aware of, for the soft saps. There is an option to put on, like other than the average, or other than this D-ring or the riveted strap. Some people put on a paracord strap, which is like a nylon strap, which I guess is a lot more resilient when pulled out. This is about 8 inches long. It's made of out of 9 to 10 ounce leather. It's stitched really well, but once again, you don't want to be hitting on the edge if you're going to be practicing with this or doing any impact. You want to be hitting with the flat side, or the flat side. It's really balanced. The entire weight, the shot runs along the entire length. So when I hold this in my hand, the shot comes all the way down there, which does increase the actual weight on the sap itself. It's not like the shot is only in this extended, in that little area. I really like it. It's again a little heavier than I'm used to, and this is I would consider substantially more serious than the smaller saps, like the small paddle sap or the Frontier sap, but I like it a lot. In the case where I was really concerned about a need for self-defense, then I would definitely consider using that. And again, once again, I have some other tools out here, like the Filipino Dulo palm stick, Surefire Executive Defender flashlight, and like a small miniature extendable baton here. In comparison, I think a sap makes it an excellent alternative to any of these other ones, albeit considerably. Something like the Surefire flashlight is a little easier to explain away why it would be on your person. In a situation where you need to keep yourself safe, I wouldn't consider carrying this over the top or excessively dangerous. So we're going to go over a couple combinations that you can use with the jack sap, and a couple angles and different applications with the Gryene here. So the thing about a jack sap is when you make a contact, when you make any pressure, or you're transferring the energy into your target, you want that flexibility. You want to be able to see that bend a little bit. See that bend a little bit. Bang! And now you'll notice that it did slip a little bit out of my hand, which is why traditionally it does come with a fixed lanyard, a fixed hand strap, where you could do something like that. Bang! And then it doesn't fall out of your hand, which would be tragic. You're trying to keep yourself safe. Bang! And that flies out of your hand. The other option with a longer lanyard is that you can make contact, a lot like a Manriki Kusari chain, or chain times 1,000, or a nunchaku type thing, where the lanyard itself becomes the contact point. So you'll notice a difference between this and, let's say, a small extendable baton. That's the contact you're making with an extendable baton. It bounces a lot quicker than the impact that you're going to be seeing with, let's say, a jack sap such as a Gryene. Plus, there's a significant weight difference between the two of these. This will transfer energy through. This will bounce off of. The weight difference itself, I don't know the actual weight between these, but it's significant. Like, this is a light tool, which obviously it will keep you safe. You have techniques like the abanico or a fan hit. You can do that. But again, with something like a gyrene or a jack sap, you've got knockout potential, you've got breaking potential, which is why jack saps are made the way they are. It's why they've got the desired, impact capabilities that you exclusively find with in my opinion, with a soft sap. Again, with a lanyard in a hand. The basic combination would be the overhead figure 8. Right off the bat. You also have an uppercut figure 8. We practice the uppercut figure 8 is as an intercepting technique against punches, against a weapon coming in. Pop. You're trying to get up underneath it, get up underneath it. We have a side-to-side one. Notice, depending on the individual, boom, and a backhand hit. Backhand hits with the jack sap are completely legitimate, while you wouldn't want to be doing that with a stick technique. Boom, boom, a backhand slap. We also have a jab type of motion, which you would try be intercepting a fist coming in, something like that. We also have what we call, in the Filipino arts, a rompida, but I call it a diagonal flow, which would be coming down and a backhand up. Down to the hip and a backhand up. These are an initial strike and an interception, an initial strike and an interception, or reversed, you could do it as an interception and a follow-up strike, interception, follow-up strike. Again, you want to be using a hand lanyard for something like this, and so just in case it doesn't slide out of your hand. And as I've mentioned before, any tool that you are carrying on you at any given time, you generally need a legitimate reason for carrying it. You can't say I'm carrying it for self-defense, because then you've essentially told them that you're carrying a weapon and may be liable for concealed weapons charges, or even carrying a weapon dangerous to the public good if you're living here in Canada. So one of the options that I do use these for, and one of the things I use these for, is tempering. In the martial arts class that we work, there's radial and ulnar nerves on your arms that we generally practice for jamming knife attacks, and a soft sap, in particular, I wouldn't really recommend a hard sap for that. A soft sap is very good for tempering your shins, tempering your arms, tempering your biceps. Any place that you may be concerned about getting jammed or being painful if hit, you can use a soft sap as a muscle, almost like a tenderizer, and tempering it out and working on those nerves to attempt to acclimatize them to pain and maybe even dull them a little bit when it comes to being hit. So carrying this on you, you can always say, Dad, that's a massager. I use it for massaging my arms, hitting the nerve right in there, or hitting the nerve right in the back. You can also temper your shins if you're in the kicking arts. Temper your thighs from being extremely sensitive if you're in the kicking arts, like a Muay Thai or even Pananjakman Filipino kicking art. A lot of our stuff goes for the upper thigh, or the right above the knee. And if you've got fascia developed in your muscle to skin in there, any little blow on your thigh will give you quite the Charlie horse. So something like this is also great for tempering, and that's a reason to carry it in your pocket. That's my massager. Oh, if somebody considers a weapon and they're telling you you're carrying a weapon, I just wouldn't agree that it was a weapon. I'm sure some people could use a pen as a weapon, but that doesn't mean I'm carrying it for that purpose. So yeah, I really like the Gryene. It's a good one. This setup is an extra few bucks if you're ordering it from Steven to get like the D-ring and the trigger clasp on there. But this is a little more of a situation where you want to have access to this but don't necessarily want to be concealing it. It's you can attach this to your belt and have it hanging out if you're working in a security capacity and you want people to know that that you do have a sap on you in case they get out of line. Maybe you're working at a bar or an outdoor beer gardens kind of rally where there might be some people that are out of line, and that's an option. So you're saying, just letting everybody know in case things go awry, I'm willing to take care of the issue. For me, I think I'm more like this for my motorcycle to hang it off of there. You never know when you might need a muscle massager there. If you're interested in a jack sap as an alternative to an impact tool to be carrying on you, I would definitely recommend checking out Steven's website, www.pitboss306.com. www.greenmanleather.ca. And